This research module is all about keywords and the role that keywords play when conducting research. Now, the first most important step in doing research is identifying your keywords, because really the strength of your research comes from the strength of those keywords. And I'm going to talk about 4 strategies to identifying those keywords so that you can get the best results possible when you are doing that research. Those strategies are identifying key concepts, brainstorming synonyms and examples, considering criteria from the assignment, and then using database tools. So the first step really is identifying your key concepts. If you have your research topic or research question, your key concepts really are going to come from there. When I was reading the book We Are Not From Here, a new novel by Jenny Torres Sanchez, I found myself becoming deeply, deeply interested in immigration. This is a story about 3 teenagers from Guatemala who are fleeing some terribly violent circumstances, and they are going to attempt to reach the United States border. So this inquiry example that I'm going to use for this module really comes from this book. And there are 3 big concepts that I would like to explore. The first one is immigration. Immigration, probably more related to illegal immigration, because these teenagers are certainly not going through the process of applying for any kind of visa or refugee status, at least not right now, not before they have left Guatemala. So I might specify that. La Bestia is almost like a character in the book, and La Bestia translates to the beast, and it is part of their immigration journey. Chico, Pequeña, and Pulga. La Bestia is a series of freight trains that runs through the country of Mexico. And when I was reading this book at first, I didn't know if La Bestia was a real thing. And you can see here from these images that it is, in fact, a way that thousands of migrants attempt to reach the United States border. And another big part of the story comes at the end when we see our some of our characters witness the separation of families at the US border, and that really comes with immigration policy. So once I've identified my key concepts, it's time to come up with some synonyms and examples, because not all researchers and authors are going to use the same keywords for the same concept. They might use different words to address the same concept. And if there's one thing about research, is that it can be very messy, and you are going to want to have many different synonyms and examples so that you can kind of go through a process of trial and error. If some of your synonyms or keywords don't produce a lot of information or don't give you very many results, then you can come back to your list and try something else. So I would like your help. What are some synonyms for immigration or examples? What do you think? What other words do you hear discussed in class or in the news related to immigration? Try migration. Sometimes we hear about immigrants being undocumented. We've got illegal immigration. An example would be US Latin America, maybe even Mexico immigration. We often hear about the US border. Border Patrol. All right, all related to immigration and specifically those illegal immigration to the United States. All right, what about policy? What are some synonyms or examples that we could include about policy or immigration policy? Laws. Policy is law. Immigration law, maybe Immigration Act or the immigration acts of the past. What is the history of our immigration policy in the United States? I mentioned earlier the separation of families at the border, maybe even ICE, the role of ICE in that policy. And La Bestia, I mentioned that that is translated to the beast. It is freight trains running through Mexico. It's part of a route, an immigration route. What would be another term for like a route that you might take? In this case, maybe a journey. All right. Freight train. The beast. So notice already, we went from 3 different key concepts to now it has broadened to many more. We're on the right track in terms of coming up with lots of different ideas or words, vocabulary that we can use for the same concepts here. Another thing to think about is assignment criteria. With any research assignment, it's likely going to be, you have your topic that might be part of a specific criteria that you are trying to show your understanding of. So it might be a literary lens. Maybe you're looking at an iconic image and giving historical context. Maybe you are writing a persuasive essay and you need to be considering reasons why something is the best of its kind. So always thinking about and adding keywords from the assignment criteria if you are needing to make that link. And the final thing that I want to point out are database tools. Often when you are doing research and you're searching in a database, the database is going to try to help you come up with other keywords or other kind of routes of getting to your subject or your information. On the left here, we have subject terms from a search in Academic Search Premier. Here, I'm noticing border region and enforcement, which we might want to add. To our keywords here, enforcement, I suppose it could either go with policy, enforcing the policy, or enforcing the border. Here we've got border region, that kind of goes with Border Patrol and the US border as well. This is what it looks like on the right here when I do a search in Gale. Gale is particularly good about coming up with related subject terms. And anytime they are listed in blue, you can see both in Academic Search Premier and in Gale, those are live links. So you can now click on border security and go to a list of results that are related to border security. Here, emigration is another word that I didn't think about in coming up with some synonyms for immigration. Emigration is the process of leaving, whereas immigration is the process of coming into a new place. So they are not necessarily the same, but certainly related terms. So to review, again, when you are coming up with keywords, the first thing to do is really identify what are those main ideas, what are the key concepts of your research. Next, lay those out and see if you can come up with as many different synonyms or examples as possible. Do the same thing for any assignment criteria. And once you start searching in the databases, pay close attention to those related subject terms, add them to your list, and certainly explore through clicking those links. So good luck coming up with your keywords.